Welcome to Bend It with Herald TV. This is a presentation on the World Cup 2022. We are already watching the matches, and I am sure all of you know the results of yesterday. Group C, Argentina 1, Saudi Arabia 2. Group D, Denmark 0, Tunisia 0. Group C, Mexico 0, Poland 0. And Group D, France 4, Australia 1. This program is being supported by Decathlon Kalangut, Martin's Corner Betalbati, Adleng Goy Family Restaurant, Doria Deger Multi-Cuisine Restaurant Old Goa, and Martin's Place Village Bistro Navelim. Saudi Arabia produced one of the greatest upsets in World Cup history. Time stood still as Al Dawsari plucked the ball out from the sky and turned inside two Argentine defenders before curling his finish beyond the reach of Aston Villa goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez, producing one of the biggest moments of any World Cup finals. Messi had given the pre-tournament favorites the lead from the spot kick after a contentious VAR decision. With Saudi Arabia winning, it ended Argentina's 36-game unbeaten run, stretching back to defeat against Brazil 3 years ago. But it was the greatest day in Saudi Arabian football history. No wonder that the head of Saudi Arabia declared a holiday for all his citizens in Saudi Arabia today. It was a very upset, historic win by Saudi Arabia because they were termed as unimpressive contenders. For Messi, it was a chance to be a hero back home in a homeland that has always shunned him. It is his last cup. To know exactly what happened and how it happened, we have got our own legend, Francis D'Souza. Welcome, Francis.
Thank you very much.
And also we have a great entrepreneur, very young entrepreneur I must say, and one of the youngest football agent in Goa, SANROY D'SOUSA. My moga soyokar Baba SANROY.
Thank you, sir.
काल तुम्ही मॅच पळयल्या सगळ्यो आणि one match that everybody was looking for. The people in Argentina, they woke up early to watch their team debut in Qatar against Saudi Arabia. It was earlier predicted as an easy victory for Argentina. But the soccer world was shocked at what unfolded in the next 90 or so minutes, a 2-1 loss for Argentina. How do you see it, Francis?
A sensational result which shook the whole world, and especially Argentina. Fans must be crying in Argentina because this time they had thought that this is Messi's last World Cup.
It is.
And then they were hoping that they would get the World Cup back home. But the first handicap that they are getting now is the brilliant work of Saudi players. I mean, by the reports I've read, it is that 10 players of the same club in Saudi were representing the Saudi team. It's the spirit, it's the determination, and it's the belief in themselves that they have, that they can achieve results, was the success story of the Saudi team.
But nobody even dreamt that Saudi Arabia could put it across Argentina. What do you say, SANROY?
That's basically the beauty of football. Underdogs, like we have seen many times, some of the teams were not expected to win, proving everyone wrong. They are taking leads against big teams, and that's how football is. You may be a small team, you may be a big team, but it's all on the field, those 90 minutes. The players give their all, and that is how teams are giving their best, and when they have something at stake to win, they have their emotion, they have all their feelings, they give their best, they just want the win. They want to prove back something to their fans at home, and since it's the World Cup, such a big stage, performing over there is every player's big dream, and getting a win against such a big team who are ranked in the top of the world, it's remarkable, and hats off to the players of Saudi for putting in efforts, and special mention to the coach Renard, whose tactical battle was extremely well because they managed to keep Argentina's midfield at bay, which didn't allow them to score goals against Saudi.
But Argentina went into the lead. It was Messi who put them with a spot kick.
Yes, it's more remarkable victory for Saudi, in spite of conceding the early goal, which would normally rattle a team, especially the underdogs, for the things to come with players of caliber of Messi, Martinez, Di Maria. I mean, I think there was something that happened within them, which made them achieve this result, and the things that happened on the field, the number of offsides, the goals scored, and the number of offsides denied Argentina to take a bigger lead, was some sort of a motivation for the Saudi players. I think, being a player myself, I think there was a lot of talk in the dressing room where the coach has motivated these players that you may be lucky because you had 3 goals disallowed just for offside, and you can still turn it around if you are determined. And I think the pep talk in the dressing room must have worked wonders, because Saudi was a total transformed team in the second half.
They were. Actually, Argentina's shocking World Cup loss to Saudi Arabia has big reverberations for Messi. This is his last chance, and he did not get off to a good start. Messi's saga is one of the main stories of 2022 World Cup in Qatar. He is considered as the best football player of all time. His career with FC Barcelona has been record-breaking, and yet he has never been able to win a World Cup with his native Argentina. How do you see that, SANROY?
Yeah, it's same. Like even if you consider Ronaldo in the same position, Portugal has never been able to win the World Cup. There are players who have won everything but not won certain awards. Whereas we have these 2 great players who have won everything, individual awards. They have won almost everything a player can dream of winning. But that one World Cup trophy is something which is still they want, and both of them.
That's the pinnacle of your career.
Yeah, and being looking at the teams also, many of times these 2 players are the ones who are carrying forward their team. Ronaldo has been carrying Portugal on his shoulders, Messi has been carrying Argentina, and whereas there are other players also who have won the World Cup. They have a very good set of players. Now even Portugal are having much more better set compared to before. There are more players coming, they're being competitive, same with Argentina, and I'm expecting now, being the last World Cup for both Messi and Ronaldo, everyone wants one of them to at least win the World Cup. I was expecting, hopefully it could have been Argentina versus Portugal final. I guess it would have been the best World Cup final ever seen if it happened so. So hopefully let's see how the games go, but it would be really disheartening to see either Ronaldo and Messi not winning the World Cup towards the end of their career.
And yesterday there was also a failure from another great from Poland, and Poland drew with Mexico 0-0.
Yeah, that was surprising because the star player, Robert Lewandowski,
Yes.
missed a penalty kick.
It was a good defense by the goalkeeper, who was later on named the player of the match.
Yeah, but when it comes to this situation of a penalty kick, it's nerves even to the best player in the world, and it has been proved time and again that some of the best players in the world have missed the penalty kick.
Yes.
But Poland had the pressure because Lewandowski, it would have been the first goal in the World Cup.
Yes.
So did that pressure put him
Maybe.
under that sort of
But
stress?
for years, Messi's performance with the Argentina national team was nothing short of tragic. And the worst, he played the angrier people got back home. Fans demanded to know now, why did he perform so well for Barca in Europe but so poorly for Argentina? Do you have any insight in this?
Like he said right away, that you play against a set of players who are brilliant in all the positions. You see the Barca team, Barcelona team, which Messi played. We had Iniesta, Xavi, we had so many other players, Piqué and Mascherano, who sort of contributed to the success of the team. And since it's a team game, I think Messi played along with this team, and the assist he got and the support he got from the team helped him to get results for Barcelona.
Yeah, and now to say that hopes were high for Messi and the Argentine team as they headed off to Qatar would be an understatement. The team was widely seen as a strong contender to make it far in the World Cup. There was also a looming deadline. Messi is now 35 years old, and recently he announced it is going to be his last World Cup. The defeat does not necessarily mean that they are out of the competition. They are still. So what do you feel about Argentina now?
See, anyways, it is still a pressure on them because they're already 3 points minus. They need to win both the games. Even a draw will hurt them very badly in the remaining 2 games. And now every team wants to be competitive, and even though Argentina has lost their first game, they will go all out. But same way, the other teams also going to go all out to take the points. It's going to be a tough time. If they had won this game, it would have been an easy encounter for them. In the further game, they could have relaxed during the last game. But now it's pressure on them. And if you see the games, or if you see the match between Argentina and Saudi also, not taking away the credit from Saudi, but both the goals were also defensive errors from Argentina. Like in the first goal, the defenders didn't track the ball when the through ball was put in. They let the player give enough time for him to take the ball and then move up to get an opportunity to score. And same way with the second goal also, it was a very bad clearance. The first time clearance was not on point, and that's how the opportunity came. And not taking away the credit of Al-Dawsari, playing against such good players, the run which he took and the way he dribbled past the Argentinian defenders and scoring that goal was fabulous. That was one of the it was an amazing goal scored by him, by taking on the players and scoring. And most of these players are playing in the top leagues of the world, and majority of the Saudi players play in Saudi league itself.
But they put up a wonderful performance yesterday, Francis.
Yes, obviously. But for Argentina, the only silver lining was yesterday's Poland and Mexico draw.
Oh, yeah.
That was the only silver lining.
Yeah.
And I think even if they have lost, they would be happy with that result.
Yes.
Because it opens opportunities for them to go all out for victories in the remaining 2 matches.
The Argentina's coach says, this hurts a lot. We were dreaming of starting the World Cup with a win, said Messi's strike partner Martinez. It has happened now, and we have to train and think forward. We lost the game because of our own mistakes. Most of all in the second half, we need to correct our mistakes. Is that correct?
Yeah,
SANROY?
yeah. Like I pointed out before, both the goals came with the mistakes of the defenders. And credits to Saudi players, they put in whatever the coach put them in tactical point of view was excellently well, because they held midfield. Because you held a midfield, you stopped the ball coming in front to score. You capture that area, and Saudi did that brilliantly well. They contained Messi. They didn't allow Messi to play his game, because everyone knows how dangerous Messi is. He does not always need his teammates. If he gets the ball, he can himself take it and try to score. And Saudi has done extremely well to keep him at bay in the game yesterday.
So there is still hope. And we remember that when Argentina last lost their opening World Cup group game in 1990, they lost to Cameroon, but they went on to reach the final where they lost to Germany. But that will be of little consolation to the South Americans right now, following the defeat to the national ranked 51st in World Cup team.
Jovito, there is a saying which goes, small beginnings have great endings. You just mentioned about their previous history, where they lost the earlier match and they went on to play the finals. I think let's hope, for the sake of seeing Messi again and again in this competition is an only opportunity for us to hope and pray that Argentina qualifies the next 16 round and we can see more of Messi in this final.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
We are having a small break right now, and this program is being supported by Decathlon Kalangut, Martin's Corner Bethal Bating, Adlengoy Family Restaurant, Doria Deger Multi-Cuisine Restaurant, Old Goa. And we have also Martin's Place Village Bistro in Navalim. Please stay back. We'll be coming very shortly after the shorter interval.
Please do drop in at a small little family restaurant called Adlengoy, which is just 5 minutes from Basilica of Born Jesus and Say Cathedral. In this small restaurant, we serve authentic Goan cuisine and we are known even for our fresh fish, chicken, mutton, etc. Also, we are known even for the other cuisines like tandoori, Indian, Indo-Chinese. So why don't you come over? Also, we have a full-fledged bar and our bartenders do really good, amazing cocktails and mocktails. And also, most important point, we are having a live premiere of the FIFA World Cup. So do drop in with your family and friends, and for reservations, dial the number on the screen.
Today we are at Martin's Place and the ambience, sarke chod bare. Like, look at this, so spacious and so nice. You feel like dancing. So let's cheers for it. The food here is next level. Like, it's so good and so. The prawns, guys, they were so kurkurit. Like, it is approved by Mr. Kurkurit. So look at me, eat them. And Goan sausage stuffed sweets. Kitne lagtale re ho. Sam ke kadis boom bang zata. Ani tenge signature dish mila mare stuffed crabs. Kitne lagta bara pure crab meat, white wine, ani cream, ani cheese gun. Jauna khayl mera ami prawns pulav ani chicken kafrial. Kafrial ki lagta har ke chod bare ta pulav.
Welcome back. You are watching Bendit with Herald TV. And this program is being supported by Decathlon Kalangut, Martin's Corner Bethal Batim, Adlengoy Family Restaurant, Doria Deger Multi-Cuisine Restaurant, Old Goa, and Martin's Place Village Bistro, Navalim. With this sudden result, Saudi Arabia beating Argentina and Mexico and Poland in a goalless draw, let us see now what is in store for all the four teams. So you have Saudi Arabia on top, and then Mexico, Poland with 1 point each. Argentina are last with no points. So Argentina will have to pull off some convincing results against Mexico on November 26th and Poland on November 30th if they are to give Messi a fitting farewell. Poland faces Saudi Arabia next on November 26th before finishing their round of group matches against Argentina. So, what do you feel about Mexico and Poland and their goalless display yesterday?
I think Mexico played better than Poland yesterday. They had more of the ball. They switched play from flank to flank, and they were trying to find the gaps in between. They did have a few tries at the goal, but Poland didn't look like a team that is very strong, could create upsets with Mexico. But they had a beautiful chance when they were awarded the penalty kick.
Yes, but it was goalkeeper Guillermo Ochoa who blocked the penalty with a shining save and went on to claim the Player of the Match award.
Yeah, come with the time, come with the man. That's the man of Mexico, and Lewandowski, one of the best players in the world.
He is.
Couldn't put across the goalkeeper, and I think Poland will always think that they have lost a chance of getting the 3 points, especially after Argentina had lost the match to Saudi.
SANROY, what do you think about the whole situation as of now?
Yeah, now Argentina being at the back foot, going already missing out on the 3 points, but they are hopeful since it was a draw. They still have a chance, but it is going to be tough 2 games for Argentina as well as for the other. Poland and Mexico both are under pressure. Even though they have 1 point, they both need 1-1 win to try to get 4 points to secure a round of 16. But and talking about the game between Poland and Mexico, I would say it was a game of goalkeepers. Both the goalkeepers pull off fantastic saves and to deny the strikers to score. And the Mexican goalkeeper, he's always known for being very good in the big games. Saving Lewandowski is good. Yeah, he just did that. And even before the game, there was a lot of talk. A lot of people were talking about him that he's a player, a big game player. There are certain players, when it comes to big games, they outperform everyone. That's a kind of maybe some feeling where they get at playing at that level. Playing the big games, they are so good at handling the pressure, but it's absolutely well. And there were a lot of talks before the game, and when the game started, when Lewandowski went to take the penalty, it was all evident that he is indeed a big game player and stopped the penalty. And like even if you see the shots, it was almost Mexico had 11 shots and 6 by Poland. Mexico were more in attacking and they were more energetic compared to Poland. They were more much better than the Poland team, even though Poland were expected to do better. But in the game, it was Mexico who
It was the other way around.
The other way around.
So we had another goalless draw yesterday, Denmark and Tunisia. And it was a drab goalless draw. They shared points. It was Tunisia who walked with their head held high for denying Denmark a win. Tunisia showed great intensity throughout the 90 minutes, particularly in the first half. But Denmark regained control, creating many threatening opportunities, but were all denied by the Tunisia goalkeeper and defenders. How do you see Denmark's goalless draw against Tunisia?
I think it was a poor performance from Denmark. Tunisia being one of the weakest contenders among the African nations in this World Cup, really, as you said, they have walked out with their head high because it was a remarkable performance from Tunisia against a team of stature of Denmark. And Denmark is a team that was expected to win, but they have disappointed.
Yeah, and Tunisia, they were rode on by their sizable following in the 42,925 crowd. Their deafening whistles and roars gave energy to their side and helped secure what had seemed an unlikely point before kickoff, despite the fact that they are unbeaten in 9 of their last 10 internationals. How do you see all this, SANROY?
Yeah, like earlier also I've always mentioned that at World Cup it is a complete different ball game. Players themselves are so motivated that whatever is the past they give away, it's all the World Cup, the stage they are right now, and they just want to focus on that. And Tunisia did very good in the first half. They were playing quite well. It was a lot of the fans were backing them up, so it gave them additional this. But it was more of the second half they lost the momentum. It was Denmark who came back into the game. Denmark almost had 5 shots on targets, which was saved by the Tunisian goalkeeper. And big credits to the Tunisian defenders and the goalkeeper because they were completely sorted and they held Denmark's strike force. And it was remarkable from Tunisia's point of view, but a big upset from Denmark's point of view because they were expected to win and it will keep getting difficult.
Yeah, because the Denmark coach, Kasper, said, "We played too nervously and too slow and we didn't find ourselves in the first half. There was a period when we got into it, but we were never calm and comfortable. That came later in the game. There is no doubt we played under par." Qualifying from this group now has become complicated, Francis, but it is not all over. The coach says our heads would have been a little been higher with a better result. That's what the Denmark coach has said.
I think most of the teams that were expected to do well in the first rounds, I see the only reason for that is the lack of preparation and the lack of the burnout that they had in playing in local leagues, etc. Because this time the World Cup is being played in the winter and in the middle of the season of most Premier Leagues. So I think that could be one of the reasons that you find that most of the top teams are not playing as per their expectations. So they have to now realize that if they don't pick up their performances, I mean, they will be out of the competition, because the big teams want to prove themselves on the big stage, and that's the reason you find good performances from the weaker teams, weaker nations that play. In the World
Or
Cup.
is it because these teams from Europe, they feel that they are on top of the football world?
Not exactly. I think they are all professional football players. They know where they stand and how much of football they have to produce at this part of the competition. So I don't think that that is the thought process in their minds as they come in, because this is the biggest stage for
Yes,
football in the
it
world,
is, it is.
and I don't think any player will think negatively regarding the opponents, because all the other nations are improving day by day. We see smaller nations creating bigger upsets. We see smaller teams now in Premier Leagues and other leagues creating up big upsets in the Premier League. So nobody can, as a professional player, and the attitude of player is that you cannot think that somebody is inferior to you, because on a given day in this beautiful game you can't predict what may happen.
Sanroy, what's your take on Denmark now?
Yeah, they have now 2 tough games coming up, and already just 1 point. They need to take a win, and Denmark's were considered to be a favorite to go in the round of 16, but they were expected by taking points from the teams who are weaker, and now they've already given away an opportunity. They've lost 2 points. So it's up to the, maybe because so as I did the point of, since it's in between the league where most of the players are coming, especially, and there was a shorter duration of the preparation which they went in for the World Cup. Or normally you had a bigger window to prepare. This time there were leagues going on all over and players had to be picked up. The gelling of the team together is going to take some time, and I guess maybe looking further during the second or third game, we may see the teams playing much better than how they have played. Like even if you go to see the France game, France initially struggled to get the pace. Later on they came to the game. So it's basically all the teams, I feel, the first game they're facing a bit tough time to play as a unit together, because they're playing on a big stage, there are nerves, it is a high pressure game, and once you don't play regularly among yourself, it always gets difficult to get your combinations right. So maybe within the second and third round, we'll be seeing much better games and teams playing in a much better
performance
competition.
from all
teams,
will
yeah.
improve, I suppose. So,
Definitely.
but defending champions, France, began their campaigning in style with a 4-1 win against Australia in Group C. Australia took the lead in the 90th minute, but France equalized in the 27th minute. And then they took the lead in the 32nd minute, and they made it 3-1 in the 68th minute, and Oliver completed his brace in the 71st minute. France's Oliver became France's joint highest scorer, leveling Thierry Henry with 51 goals. How do you rate yesterday's performance of France against Australia, despite the fact that Australia went ahead?
Yeah, I think France was stunned by that early goal from Australia, and you could see the body language of most of the players. If I have watched the match, and I have seen how determined Mbappe was on the left flank. He was putting so much of pressure on the defenders, along with Rabiot and Giroud. I mean, that sort of really woke them up. The goal really woke them up, and considering that just before that, you find Argentina, who had lost the match to Saudi Arabia. I think most of the players, they are professional, and they think that something like this should not happen to us. And they have gone all out in performing, and they got the desired results, because Australia was totally under pressure. They made mistakes. They surrendered the ball for the second goal in their own defensive third, and it was capitalized by the French team.
Sandro, you have seen yesterday, I'm sure, France, how they played, and you had Mbappe, who stole the limelight.
Yeah, Mbappe is one of the highest rated players in world football at the moment, and the most wanted player by every club, I guess, at the moment. But PSG have him tight roped. Everyone wants him, but PSG are not going to let their star player move away. But again, I'm like having such a big expectation from everyone. I'm also expecting him to be much better into his conversions. Like if you see yesterday's game, he has missed opportunities, even missed an header, which was someone of his caliber should have converted into a goal. So for me, he's a great player, very speedy. He can take on the players and just go and score. But his conversions need to improve. Like being at this level, he needs to keep scoring much more, be scoring in and out, continue, and not just one goal, score more goals. That's what's expected from Mbappe.
Yeah, but even the Australian coach, Arnold, explained that he had requested 3 of his players to try to stop him when he had the ball on the left. But even they could not do anything.
This is the biggest advantage when most of the coaches are telling their players that, okay, target this one man, I want you to target. This leaves all the other players open to score. And this is what has happened. They may have targeted Mbappe to keep, but it was other players, Giroud, Rabiot, and they have gone on to score. And for me, Giroud is one of the most underrated strikers in this World Cup also, because people don't rate him that high, but he's the one who's getting goals, he's scoring. He has a lot, his hard work, he puts in a lot of work rate into his football, and that's something you need of a player, and he's getting you the goals. He's almost, this may be his last World Cup as well. So like none of the much people like talk about him, but he's delivering goals. That's what is needed.
So I think we are running out short of our time. We have today midnight, that is 00:30 a.m. Belgium versus Canada. And later on we have Morocco versus Croatia at 3:30 p.m. Germany versus Japan at 6:30 p.m. And then Spain against Costa Rica at 9:30 p.m. We have a very good news for all our viewers. What you need to do is predict the score of the Group E match, and that is Spain versus Costa Rica. It will be played at 9:30 p.m. What you need to do, predict the score of this match and send your answers on WhatsApp to the number 8237160273. I repeat that. Send your answers on WhatsApp to our number 8237160273, and you should send your answers before 9:30 p.m. tonight. So the big match, you can also participate, like our legend Francis is participating here. We have our football agent youngster SANROY, and this is a presentation from the Herald TV. It's called a Bandit. So you can also be part of this prediction. I repeat, because you will be able to now note down. If you have got a pen and paper, please note down the number 8237160273. Send it before 9:30 p.m. tonight. This is a presentation which has been supported by Decathlon Kalangut, Martin's Corner Betalbatim, Adlengoy Family Restaurant, Darya Degir Multi Cuisine, and Martin's Place Village Bistro Navilim. To our experts, our legend Francis D'Souza, a former great international and a great coach that we have. Dev bare korum Baba Francis Tuka. Toshens Dev bare korum untao Baba SANROY. Your description, your comments, your analysis has brought in a lot of new thought process, and I'm sure those who are watching, they will be enriched with whatever you have shared with all of us.
Thank you for your appreciation.
Thank you, sir.
So we'll be back tomorrow with the new results, and till then, bye bye, all the best.